Welcome to House Groups. We're so excited that you are here with us tonight to continue talking about Jesus and how he lives. So in Jesus' time on earth, everything he did and said was contrary to what people expected and thought. So in the same way for us today, as we're following Jesus, we are called to live differently. So I would love to read to you from Matthew 5:7-12 from the Message. It says, "God blesses those who are merciful, for they will be shown mercy. God blesses those whose hearts are pure, for they will see God. God blesses those who work for peace, for they will be called the children of God. God blesses those who are persecuted for doing right, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs. God blesses you when people mock you and persecute you and lie about you and say all sorts of evil things against you because you are my followers. Be happy about it. Be very glad, for a great reward awaits you in heaven. And remember the ancient prophets were persecuted in the same way." All of this comes from Jesus talking to a crowd of people at what's called the Sermon on the Mount. So he's preaching and telling people what it looks like to follow him. So one of the words that comes up in this is mercy, which can be kind of maybe a foreign or abstract word. So I was looking up a couple different definitions that I wanted to share with you. And my favorite one is this. Mercy is entering into the feelings of someone who is hurting, lonely, or distressed, and feeling their pain along with them. So we have this group of students here called the Slay Care Team, the Student Lay Care Team, who get together a couple times a month, and what they do is they write notes and put together care packages and reach out to people who are going through hard times, whether it's a loss or just a hard situation, and they walk alongside them, which I think is just such a powerful thing. And if you've ever gone through something hard, you remember how meaningful it is just to have someone alongside you in that pain. The next thing that Jesus talks about is being pure of heart, which I think again can kind of be this like a little bit abstract concept. And what that means is coming to a place where you can be completely open and honest before God and others. And our hope and prayer for you is that your small group time can be this place where you're able to be open and honest and vulnerable with your leader and with your peers in that group. And one of the other things Jesus mentioned in this passage is working towards peace. And I think in the midst of our city and our country and our world right now, there's a lot of turmoil going on, and peace is something that all of us really need in our hearts and in the world. So this doesn't just mean like a huge scale, like a war type thing, but this is also what's going on in our hearts. And if you are a person who's working towards peace, this is coming from a place where you are constantly working to keep channels of communication open and honest and truthful with yourself and also those around you. It means actually dealing with your anger and disagreements, not just kind of shoving them to the side, and addressing anger in your life and not just allowing that to fester inside you. It also means encouraging those around you to do the same and to confront other people in a really open and honest and loving way so we can all work towards peace.
Pursuing peace doesn't mean that there's never going to be conflict. It means that there's going to be conflict. But as Micah talked about, Jesus was giving this sermon in order to help people understand what his way of life was like. His way of life was totally contrary to everything that they had been doing, how they had been living, what they were doing, how they were interacting with people. And Jesus was sitting here talking to a huge group of people, inviting them into a different way to live, which means that when we experience conflict, we pursue peace. We work for peace in a way that other people might not. It means that we listen well. It means that we ask questions. It means that when we're sitting next to someone in class or sitting next to someone at lunch, or we overhear a conversation and we disagree completely with what they're saying, it means we respond differently. We have the opportunity as Jesus followers, if we are trying to follow Jesus, it means that we have this opportunity to lean into those conversations and those situations differently. Because Jesus invites us into a transforming relationship with him. And through that, and because of that, it means that we see the world and the people of the world differently. So that person that I'm fighting with is an actual human who's created in the image of God. And because of that, they have complete and invaluable worth beyond anything that I can understand or imagine. And so it means I treat them like they have invaluable worth. That's what it looks like to be people who work for peace. And right now in the world, right now in our community, there's a lot of stuff going on that would say to us, we need to fight back, or we need to post up about this, or we need to be on this side and not that side. But Jesus invites us into another way. He gives us another way to live. He said, "Blessed are those who work for peace." Blessed are those who are pure of heart. Blessed are those who are vulnerable. Blessed are those who are authentic, who walk into situations and are willing to see love, are willing to see people as created in the image of God. And so because of that, it just means that we get the opportunity to live differently. And when Jesus matters in our lives, when Jesus matters in who we are, then it matters in how we treat people. And that's what the Beatitudes are about. The Beatitudes are about inviting us to see Jesus' way in our everyday life. I hope you have loved studying the Beatitudes and looking at Jesus' prayers and how he interacted with people these past couple weeks, because they really are challenging us to live in and out of our relationship with him in really hard spaces, but spaces that will make a huge difference in our lives and hopefully in the lives of the people who are around us.